2604. What can we expect at the AGM today? Probal Sen is with us at the moment. Given the fact that we've picked up that an IPO timeline for Jio is unlikely right now, as well as for Reliance Retail, do you think that the street could be a little bit disappointed because a lot was hinging on that? And we also have Nitin Soni joining in from Fitch Ratings. But Probal, first question to you.
Yeah, I think this whole thing about the timelines for the delisting, or rather the listing of the retail and geo business, has been speculated for pretty much every AGM, I think, in the last 3 years. And I think there's a lot of expectations that get baked into the AGM speech. If we look at the last couple of years at least, there have been some significant pronouncements, the Green Energy Initiative being one of them. But the fact is that, I think repeatedly Reliance has said that, they will do the listing as and when they're ready. And frankly, we have no idea in terms of what the internal timelines are. I don't think that there is any tearing hurry for the company to actually separate out these two businesses. I think they're probably looking for a time in the market, and they might have some internal milestones to hit for each of those businesses. So yeah, I mean, if the market is disappointed, that is one thing. But the fact of the matter is that, I don't think they've given any indications, at least in the last 6 months, that they would be announcing anything of this sort in the AGM. So yeah, I mean, it is. I think this AGM is probably going to be more about any updates that we can get on the new energy businesses, any milestones or any progress, any updates that have been hit on any of the four, sub-segments that they talked about. And of course, I think some updates on the 5G rollout, along with the handset that they have been talking about, launching. I think those probably will be the focus areas. But yeah, I mean, anything can happen, but that's my sense of what will be the key things.
There are graphics on the right which our viewers can see that Reliance and the Ambani family, historically, they've used the AGM to make big announcements, whether it's a bonus issue or discovery of KGD6, expansion of Patal Ganga, launch of Jio, discovery of oil, new energy announcement. Reliance family has historically used the AGM to make big bang announcements. Now, you cannot have big bang announcement every year because the size and the market cap of Reliance is very different. So big bang for Reliance is going to be something very mega, which I think they've announced in the last AGM as a policy in terms of new energy. Nitin Soni, let's use the 5G point for reference, because the 5G auctions have happened, the rollout has happened, Jio was very aggressive. What do you expect to hear on the 5G rollout from Mr. Ambani today?
Yeah, thanks, Nikunj, for having me on the show. So Fitch Ratings rate Reliance Industries at BBB flat on our stable outlook on foreign currency IDR. We do expect there could be some announcement around 5G, and I think the 5G rollout can happen during October to December month of this calendar year. So the commercial launch can happen during that quarter. And in terms of pricing, we expect the 5G pricing to be slightly expensive than the 4G. And we will see a gradual pickup of the 5G as subscribers try to move from the 4G plans to 5G. And I think it's a good opportunity for all the telcos, not only for Jio, but also for Bharti as well, to increase the average revenue per user in the Indian market with the help of the 5G launch, and asking consumers to pay more for faster speeds on 5G technology.
Nitin, but do you expect any kind of a price war indication in the 5G market? I mean, with Reliance, for shareholders, the only question is that are they going to be setting up something grand and rolling out something big and mega which could change and which could be disruptive? Just like a Jio launch on 5G, do you expect Mr. Ambani to come out with a phone and a package offering which would be substantial at a discount, and that's going to reboot the telecom 5G rates?
No, Nikunj, I think our thinking is that the days of price wars are over. I think the industry is now moving towards monetization of the large spectrum spend they have done on the 5G. So we don't believe there is any price competition to happen on the 5G launch. What we think will happen is that, yes, Reliance can launch a 5G enabled phone, which could be affordable, to enable consumers to quickly move to the 5G technology. It will be slightly pricier than 4G, but it will not be as expensive as, it will deter people to move to 5G technology. and it will increase the overall average revenue per user for the industry. Both Bharti and Jio are in a very solid position right now. They have strong balance sheets. They are anyway taking over market share from Vodafone Idea. So the revenue market share is fast consolidating between Jio and Bharti. So they don't need to actually enter into a price competition. 5G is actually, in my view, is an opportunity for both Bharti and Jio to improve ARPU and improve profitability further in the telecom industry.
Probal, what's the outlook in terms of, spelling out the future generations' roles and, what the market would really take away from that? What do you think that, the street wants to hear? Because it clearly seems to be that Mukesh Ambani will continue to remain at the helm of affairs. That should provide some sort of comfort, right?
I think I think the leadership roles that have been given to some of the children already, I think they have been in place for some time. We have seen that the daughter and Mr. Akash and the daughter has obviously been doing the briefings as far as the telecom business is concerned. They have been at the forefront of doing the live presentations of the next phone that was launched and the launch of the services that were there in digital. So I think that it has been telegraphed to a certain extent that this is the new generation that will be taking over specifically the consumer businesses. And therefore, we would expect probably Mr. Ambani to give some more, roadmap, let's say, in terms of how those leadership roles will progress. But yeah, as you said, given the fact that he remains at the helm of affairs is something that is definitely a huge, huge factor as far as, excuse me, as far as investor comfort is concerned. And I don't think that status quo is likely to change anytime soon from what we see and hear. So yeah, that's I think an important factor to look at in terms of how the roadmap is developed and whether there's any specific announcements made in that regard.
Probably if I look at the last couple of AGMs, even though it was COVID, the Reliance AGM that time was about raising capital and raising foreign investment in the Jio platform. After that, it was the new energy business. Before COVID, it was about big expansion as far as making Reliance debt-free is concerned. I'm getting a sense that today's AGM Probal could be one of those routine AGMs. Unlike what we've seen in last 5 AGMs, where big bang announcements, partnerships, equity stake sale, energy plans have been announced, looks like it's going to be all about routine audit and numbers this time.
I honestly don't really want to hazard a guess. I think Reliance has the ability to surprise and pull something out of the hat. They have for the last several years been doing that Steve Jobs things, where they pull out one more thing at the end of their normal pronouncement. So I have no idea whether it's going to be a routine AGM or they could pull out some sort of a surprise, particularly with respect to the 5G services and the 5G phone that they've been talking about. But as I said earlier, I don't think there are any huge new capex announcements that are on the anvil. I think they have got enough on their plate with respect to new energy and consolidating their business and the 5G rollout. So to a certain extent, you're right, but I wouldn't bet on any surprises coming. I think that's something that's always dangerous to do when it comes to an RIL AGM.
Thank you, gentlemen, for discussing with us what you're expecting as well as how the street could potentially react to RIL's AGM.